it's Lauren Daisy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a reaction to the new Pretty Little Liars Original Sin trailer, and then also just kind of having a little chit chat, kind of what we know so far about the show. If you haven't heard about it yet, then it is a spin-off reboot kind of thing, kind of like Gossip Girl, right? Like the new Gossip Girl. It's set in, I believe, a town over from Rosewood, so Rosewood and all the characters still exist in the universe, but it doesn't have anything to do with the original cast, and I don't think any of the original cast are going to be in it or anything like that. I don't know about any like little cameos like how Gossip Girl had, but none of the core girls are coming back for it. I honestly was kind of a bit skeptical when they first announced it, because I kind of felt like Pretty Little Liars wasn't even really over yet. It's been, well, to be fair, it has been quite a while now. It's been like 5 years, I think, since Pretty Little Liars finished. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I absolutely love it. So 5 years kind of seemed a bit quick to be doing like a whole reboot situation. With Gossip Girl, you know, we're coming up, this year's like the 10-year anniversary of Gossip Girl finishing, so I feel like it's been a bit more time. I think Marlene said something like, you know, like the body's not even cold yet and you're already doing a reboot. But from the kind of initial press release that we saw about it, they said that it was going to be a lot more dark, which I think is exciting. I obviously loved Pretty Little Liars and like the more teen drama elements of it, but I think having that same kind of environment but making it darker and a little bit scarier is also interesting. Yeah, I was skeptical in the beginning, but I love Pretty Little Liars so much that I think I'm just gonna love it anyway. Like, I feel like they've suckered me in anyway. Okay, so I have the trailer here, so we're gonna watch the trailer, and then just kind of, yeah, go through. So I haven't seen anything about it yet. I've been like skipping everything, not watching any TikToks or looking at Twitter or anything like that.
Scary house across the street from the cemetery, where the girl lived alone with her mother, and something terrible happened. In Millwood?
Millwood, okay.
Was me.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's Spirit Week?
I do like Bailey Madison.
Nobody wants the pregnant, tragic ass here.
Oh, she's pregnant.
We're not going anywhere. In fact, I'm gonna be Spirit Queen. She's got my vote.
Oh, like a Carrie situation, okay. Oh, I'm a sucker for it.
A's testing us. He's watching us.
Ooh, it is creepy.
Start the car now. My mom got an invitation to some party when she was in high school. It's a cool, cool world.
Oh, it's kind of like Scream Queen, so it's going to be like flashbacks.
Did you know our moms were friends back in high school? Because I definitely didn't. It can't be a coincidence. What aren't they telling us? So I'm saying my we are so dead. Whatever happens, we're all in this together.
Freaky.
There's a word for what you did, Brett. Assault.
You
Ooh, the day after my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Okay, so I feel like, firstly, I love Bailey Madison. I think she's a really good actress. She's the only one that I actually recognize. I don't think I've seen any of the other girls in anything before, but the acting seems really good. So I'm excited to see that. More, again, yeah, more of a like horror take, slasher kind of vibes I really like. I feel like that's a like kind of exciting new twist. It's one of those where I feel like it's hard because with Gossip Girl they kind of made a bit more sense to call it a reboot, because obviously they went to the same school, you know, like Constance, and they wear the school uniforms, and there is some ties to the old show. Like they fully acknowledge that like, oh, Gossip Girl was a website before, and they like kind of name drop the old characters, whereas I don't know if this really needs to be a reboot. Like, obviously you've still got A, like, but it's so different from the original, well, like it looks it anyway, that like kind of seems just a little bit, not like a cash grab, but really just like hopping on the name Pretty Little Liars for publicity, which like I get, because obviously it was a really popular show at the time, but for me it seems a little unnecessary to be like a Pretty Little Liars thing. Like this could have easily been just another show. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think it looks really good and I'm excited to see it. So I think it's gonna be 10 episodes. So kind of really following that more short form series, like a limited series that we're used to seeing now. I do kind of miss a little bit like the long seasons. I know like you do obviously naturally get like more filler episodes and stuff when your series are 24 episodes, like Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars and like 90210 were, but I do kind of miss it sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Like everything's, yeah, 8 to 13 episodes these days. I get where they're like going with it, because obviously on what ABC Family that then turned into, I think it's called like Freeform, there's limits to the things you can do, the things you can say, whereas with HBO Max I think it's kind of like a bit more free reign to kind of do whatever they like with it, which is exciting. For me it's very reminiscent of Scream Queens, and that like, oh, this thing happened in our like parents' school, or this thing happened like a few decades ago, and that being linked to now, like that's pretty much exactly almost the plot, or like what they think is the plot in Scream Queens series 1, and Scream as well. It gives me real big Scream vibes, like the TV series that Netflix did. That kind of horror element, and again it coming back to like ties with their parents and what happened with their parents. I feel like I'm really excited to see it. I'm excited to be invested in a new show. I feel like I haven't been for quite a while. The Chucky TV series and the new Gossip Girl series are kind of the only ones that I've been really like watching properly. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see. I feel like it's got a lot of potential. I'm really intrigued to kind of see everyone's characters individually a bit more. It's kind of obvious that it seems like nothing like Aria, but in the first season of Pretty Little Liars, you know, Aria is kind of meant to be the main character a bit more. So it seems like that's kind of what's happening with Bailey Madison's character, that she's, you know, like they all have a part to play, but she's kind of the main focus a little bit. I'm excited to see the intro, like if they're gonna do it the same as the Pretty Little Liars one, like with the shush and everything. Text from A, it just gets me right in the nostalgia. So I've seen a little bit of kind kind of criticism around the fact that it's being written by the same person that writes Riverdale. I see where that comes from, but I really enjoyed the first few seasons of Riverdale. I still watch Riverdale, I won't lie. If you watch my channel, you know I still watch Riverdale. I live for that shit. But I'm not saying it's good by any means, but I still are still invested. But I feel like if it's that they stick to that true teen drama mystery that we had like in the first season, 2 seasons of Riverdale, then that's got a lot of potential. I think he wrote that, unless he came on later, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, definitely has potential there. You know, I just want someone to just stick to what is good in these shows, because I was rewatching Pretty Little Lies. I just finished watching it the day before, with my boyfriend, because he'd never seen it before, and I was like, oh my god. So we watched the whole thing, and towards the end it does get tricky, and it's like my favorite show of all time, but even I can admit, like, towards the end it got a bit ropey. So I'm hoping with this one, because it's less episodes, and you know, yeah, it's HBO Max, you know, and it's just a fresh kind of spin on it, that hopefully I think it'll be really good. And if they don't take it too far, like maybe like 3 to 5 seasons maybe, would be good. I feel like longer than that, kind of, it starts to drag a little bit. I think I'm gonna do like a ranking of all the Pretty Little Liars shows, like Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, Pretty Little Liars Perfectionist, and Ravenswood, like when they're all out. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. The new A looks so creepy and so freaky, and I'm really excited for that, because obviously in the original it was a lot more high school, you know. It was centered around more bullying and kind of people we knew, well, most of the time, people we knew being A, and that kind of more sneaky tactics, whereas this one seems a lot more, yeah, horror and just a lot more creepy, a lot more sinister, which I think is a nice twist. It's hard because I feel like you don't want it, it's weird, you kind of have to find like a weird middle ground, because you don't want it to be too similar to the original in that real like teen drama sense, because then it's just going to seem like it's copying the original. And then with this new horror one, it's different enough, but yeah, I guess maybe it feels almost a little too different to even be in like the Pretty Little Liars world. Maybe I'm interested to see how they kind of go about it, if it's going to have that Pretty Little Liars feel when like you watch it, or if it's just going to kind of feel like a completely different show. Like the only thing that is similar is that the person's called A, and that is the title of the show. So we'll see. So there's like a little summary of just the main one. Chandler Kinney, which is such a cute name, I love that, is Tabby Hayworth. She's a filmmaker wannabe and a horror film fanatic. This is where I feel like we could get like a kind of Scream element, like I can't remember his name from the Scream TV show, but it's like a trope, isn't it? Like from the original Scream movies, you have the one character that is in on the horror film genre and will blatantly say out loud like, oh, this is what will happen, this is like, looks like this from this horror film, you know what I mean? So I feel like maybe that we could see that kind of element with this character. Maya Rafiko, if I'm saying any of these names wrong, I really apologize, as Noah Oliver, a track star freshly out of juvie, so maybe kind of like an Emily Fields if she was in a more horror franchise, you know, like a bit more edgy Emily Fields kind of vibe. Bailey Madison obviously is Imogen Adams, resourceful, interesting, pregnant teen. That I'm really excited about. Having someone be pregnant. which I think just adds a completely different spin on it. It's not something we ever saw in Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl. We did in 90210, to be fair. I'm like intrigued about that whole thing, like the kind of backstory. Like, is there a like dad around? Like, what is that whole kind of situation? I'm intrigued by that, because we could kind of see from the trailer that people at the school are very judgmental of her. So I'm kind of, yeah, intrigued to see how they also kind of come together, because they seem like friends but also kind of not, like they introduce them separately. So I wonder if it's they've always been friends, like in the Pretty Little Liars world, or if we kind of see their friendship develop throughout the show. And then Zaria is Farron Bryan, a determined ballerina who deals with racism in the industry. I think that is another really interesting one, really good topic to touch on. I feel like anything like that is always good to show in these teen ones, especially when you know a lot of younger people are watching. I think it's always good to kind of talk about prominent issues. So I feel like I'm interested to see that. I feel like ballerina as well is not one that you really see too often. So I'm excited about that. You know, we get a lot of dancers, or like obviously Emily was a swimmer, or track stars. So I feel like a ballerina one is an interesting one, a kind of hobby we don't really see that often in teen shows. So I'm intrigued by that one as well. Malia Piles is Mouse Henrada, an internet-obsessed teen with a history of trauma. Internet-obsessed, I feel like, is interesting. Is that in a kind of, just in terms of like trends and the more like internet lingo, or as in kind of like more tech-obsessed, like they'll kind of be able to maybe help figure things out? I kind of wonder who the Spencer is going to be, like the one who's really like trying to solve the mystery. Maybe Mouse is more of a kind of like Caleb type, which would be interesting. Yeah, those are the main 5. I feel like it's a really good cast. The acting seems really good. I've seen, like, you know, some behind the scenes pictures and stuff. They all seem very close. It seems very sweet. So yeah, we have the first episode is coming out on July the 28th. So it's pretty soon. I know they're doing like a launch event thing, which seems really cool. Lucy Hale is hosting it, which is like, oh my god, I love her. I love Lucy Hale. I think that's like kind of fun as well, obviously having Aria. They're doing, yeah, like a red carpet thing, and having Lucy Hale host it. So I think I'm gonna probably tune into that. I think it's being live streamed. So that's pretty cool as well, that it's getting a lot of like hype, which I think is really cool. People seem really excited for it, which is good, because I feel like people really invested in Pretty Little Liars the first time around, but towards the end it kind of lost people a little bit. So I think when The Perfectionists came out, people weren't as invested. So I think it was a shame that that didn't get renewed for a second season. But yeah, the posters look really cool. All the little like teasers and all this stuff. The fashion looks really cool. I always find it interesting with, I think his name's Robert, the guy from Riverdale, because Riverdale has always had that kind of mix of modern and retro, and I feel like we're seeing that again with Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. Some of the outfits are very, kind of like retro looking. Things don't look so modern all the time, but then you can see from their phones that they're obviously in modern times. And then we're going back to the 90s, which again, I think is gonna be really cool to kind of see that setting a little bit more. I think that'll be a kind of fun contrast. And it's a fun way to explore set decor and fashion and hair and makeup and everything without having to stick to one decade specifically, being able to kind of go between the two. So yeah, those are kind of my initial first thoughts on the show and the trailer, because I think they're kind of splitting them out in a kind of weird way. Oh, okay, so the first 3 come out on the July the 28th, and then we've got 2 more on August 4th, 2 more on August the 11th, and then 3 more on August 18th. So I think I'll probably do videos on them in that order then, like the first 3, the next 2, the next 2, the next 2, and then the last 3, or whichever way around it is. So yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think it looks really, really good. Let me know what you guys also thought in the comments. Are you excited for it? Is it not really your kind of thing? But yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.